of Cresco. Doug?
We go to 185 pounds. In the 1A division, well, it's going to be the same two teams at each other in these next two matches because it's going to be a Hoeg from North Tama of Traer against somebody from Durant in each one. And first of all, at 185 pounds, it's Joel Ralfs of Durant against Bryan Hoeg of North Tama of Traer. And there was a very, very fast start for Durant. Ralfs. 4-0 on a 4-point move. Ralfs of Durant decides he's been tough on his feet. I'll let him go and take him down again. In on the leg.
When he cut him, he just shot right back in on him. He might have taken him a little bit by surprise.
There's the 2A match up in the corner there. Roger Baker of Preston against Eric Willim of Clarion. Another Clarion championship team. We'll keep an eye on that one for you. It's 6-1 in the match in the center mat. And in AAA, Dave Toops of Burlington will wrestle Jay Gunther of Lewis Central Council Bluffs.
Well, Ralfs got off to a real fast start right here by wrestling aggressively. It's going to be up now to Bryan to be able to get back into this match by starting some aggression on his own.
These are unbeaten wrestlers, too. 53 matches between them without a loss. Obviously, they haven't met this year.
Well, I know that Joe Ralfs has qualified for state once when their school was in a 2A, and now he's back in the finals at 1A. So he's accustomed to being here. Bryan was 5th at 185 last year.
On the edge. We'll come back to the center.
Work the center now.
Referee is Ross Larson. Has a microphone in his hip pocket.
With that score 6-2, Doug, he's going to have to start to open up, with some offense. He can't hope to wait for some mistakes. He's going to have to generate offense on his own. And the boy from Durant is keeping him out of there, keeping him off balance by just faking. And then when he shot in deep this time, he was too close to the edge and didn't score the takedown.
And out of bounds. 9 seconds to go in the first period. And Hoeg made a shot, but Ralfs has cut him off with those underhooks. He's got him stopped. He hasn't been able to make a shot. There's the end of the period.
Well, Joel Ralfs had a dislocated elbow last year. That's maybe one of the reasons why he didn't show quite as well. Did qualify for state, but had a bad elbow and hasn't really been quite the same. He's a real intelligent student.
He hasn't really been pressed in this tournament. He won his first match on a fall, then another 12-5, and his semifinal was 10-2 over Jason Roush at Tripola.
Now, Hoeg, the boy from North Tama, would like to keep him down the mat. He's a pretty good rider. He'd like to keep him down the mat and work on a head lever in this crotch series where he catches the arm and then tries to lift up, block, and then stack you over. He's pretty good with this kind of series on the mat. That's why Ralfs, I'm sure, wants to get up out of there. This is a tough spot to be in. Both arms tied up.
Minute and a half to go. We've just used about 30 seconds of the second period.
Go to center, man.
And again, Hoeg is tough on top, but he needs to be scoring points here. There's Chuck Rogers, who's had a successful career at Durant.
Kind of changed sides on him there to stop that, but he did get some height. Now, Hoeg's caught underneath him. What he wants to do is get back up into that top position, put a little bit of weight on him. He'll like the head lever if he can and knock him down. He likes this cradle position.
Got the cradle. I don't know what he can do with it here. Let's see what the position is going to be.
Well, part of the problem with that, part of the problem with that was that when he tried to catch it and spin through, he lost his arch.
8-2 now.
Right, so let him go because Joel Ralfs feels pretty comfortable on his feet.
In Double A, Baker is leading Willim 7-1. Baker of Preston over Clarion. Now 9-1, I hear. Big moves down there by Roger Baker of Preston in a match that's taking place next to this one.
As these guys get a little more fatigued, their penetrating shots aren't quite as deep. Now he's got into the position. Now if he can get upright, if he gets his body vertical, it gives him a little bit of an advantage. So he can't get drawn out away from his base. He's got to be able to stay in tight and in deep, and then get upright, cut across. There he tries to arch back into him.
But Hoeg has managed to stay over the top enough to keep him off. So far, we have about 7 seconds left to go, and counting down. 8-3 score. Dave Toops of Burlington is leading Jay Gunther 3-2 over in the AAA mat in the 4-2 now, with about a half a minute left in the second period there.
1 second, man. Stay there.
Iowa High School Wrestling Championships. And it's the end of the second period. And here's what's happened in the 1A. It's Lisbon all the way. You're looking at a Durant wrestler out there, Joe Ralfs. His team is in second place.
Hoeg's going to want to get to his feet up here and then try to go to one of the standing roll actions because he doesn't like it down on the mat. You know, he wants to get into this position, and I'm sure that this is kind of a dangerous spot since that's what he likes to do.
There was a warning given there.
You've been warned for stalling. Okay?
Warning against Ralfs.
Well, it's the man in the rear position's responsibility to take his opponent to the mat.
Again, that stand-up position.
He wants to get up here now. He's got some roll action. See, Ralfs wisely just cuts him loose so he doesn't possibly get reversed to his back.
8-4 now, a 4-point lead for Ralfs.
Nice duck under. Carried his hips in well. Got his body in underneath as well as his head.
But the question is, can he avoid going out of bounds? That he can't. So no points there. 8-4 with a minute and a half left.
There's a little fatigue involved right now, Doug.
Looks that way to me, too.
Starts to enter in here. But he did hit in deep. Now see, he stopped right there, got extended out away and stopped out in front of him. This is not a real favorable spot.
Hoeg trying to come around, spin around, and he couldn't quite do it.
Well, he got there, he just didn't quite react fast enough.
Couldn't believe where he was.
That's right. I don't believe he thought he was going to get that much of it.
14-2, Baker leads over Willim over on AA now. Now Ralfs...
Automatic warning green, he's back in.
They both look a little tired to me here.
That's right, they are. That score we had over there in AAA now, Toops is 4-3 instead of 4-2 from Burlington.
Less than 50 seconds to go in this match. Ralfs of Durant, Bryan Hoeg of North Tama of Traer. We'll see twin brother of Bryan Hoeg up next against another Durant wrestler at heavyweight.
Best thing Ralfs can do right now is to keep on the offense so he doesn't get called for stalling.
Too late. No. Thought maybe that might be it there, but it wasn't. It was a stalemate.
Now, this is what could hurt him if he gets thrown. So what he wants to do now is don't give him a lot of pressure. There he countered it wisely and took him down.
10-4, and an escape makes it 10-5. And Ralfs is in. Good position. 12-5. Reversal makes it 12-7. A merry-go-round there at the end, but it's a victory for Joe Ralfs of Durant.
They're awfully tired.
They sure are. 12-7, the winner for Durant, which is going to finish second, by the way, in the state 1A team championship behind Lisbon, which is a town not really very far away from Durant. 12-7. Ralfs, the winner. Now we're going to 3A. We have 18 seconds over here, and a close match. 5-4. It's been reversed around now, so Jay Gunther of Lewis Central of Council Bluffs is leading 5-4. He was trailing the last time we talked about it, 4-3. But Toops of Burlington is now behind and is on the bottom.
He's got those legs locked up, too. That's real tough to move there.
Gunther's trying to hold on here with the last seconds to go, and he will. He's the champion. Jay Gunther from Western Iowa.
You'll see a lot of those Lewis Central boys that have won, and their team has really wrestled well in this tournament. Done a very good job. Their teams come up high. Coach Blythe's done a real good job with that team.
So Jay Gunther.
Jay Gunther of Council Bluffs, Lewis Central, only led in the last 5 seconds of the match. make that the last 55 seconds when he finally took the lead over Dave Toops of Burlington and became the 185-pound Class 3A state champion, shown here embracing his coach. Jay Gunther didn't lead until just 55 seconds remaining in that match. Your new state champion from Lewis Central Council Bluffs. Now, Dean.
Well, in contrast to that last-minute win that Dick just told you about, Roger Baker led all the way. In fact, he just plain dominated Eric Willim of Clarion. Roger Baker of Creston is the new champion at 185 in AA. He scored 5 points in the first period, 9 more points in the second period, and then piled up a total of 20 points. Total for the entire match, 20-2, Roger Baker of Creston.
This is the 1A Division 185.
Second place, Bryan Hoeg, Traer, North Tama. And the 185-pound 1A champion from Durant, Joel Ralfs.
How about a smile there, Joe?
He's too excited. Got his fans all revved up.
From Durant. And Durant picked off 2 in a row here, 185 and heavyweight.
Presenting the Class 2A awards, Coach Dan Steffens of Preston. 6th place, Pat McFarland, Norwalk. 5th place, David Howell, Washington. 4th place, Todd Colander, Huxley Ballard. 3rd place, Joel Williamson, Audubon. 2nd place, Eric Williams, Clarion. And the 185-pound 2A champion from Preston, Roger Baker.
He had a big win, 14-2. Oh, it was more than that, as a matter of fact. It was something like 20-2 over Eric Willim of Clarion tonight. But Clarion gets the last laugh. They won the team championship.
Something that was unexpected coming in. They really wrestled well as a team. That young man might have been significant. He was 4th in their conference at 67.
Coach Dick Fleth of Lewis Central Council Bluffs. 6th place, Chris Clark, Indianola. 5th place, Rob Kinney, Iowa City, City High. 4th place, Dave Williams, Charles City. 3rd place, Mark Pratt, Marshalltown. 2nd place, Dave Toops, Burlington. And the 3A 185-pound champion from Lewis Central Council Bluffs, Jay Gunther.
There it is, Jay Gunther. Big smile from Lewis Central Council Bluffs. Now we're going down to Dick Trotter for a floor report.